Okay, so everybody ready? Yeah, I know. It's exciting. Here we go. Boomba, 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 boomba. Bunny, 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 bunny. Bunny, 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 bunny. Bunny, bunny, bunny,
It's Tuesday, and you forgot my birthday.
I forgot your birthday because I have so many children that it is impossible for me to remember the birthdays of 17 children.
You can't. You don't remember the birthday of 17 children because you met so many men.
I met so many men because I'm extremely hot. They are always wanting to be the father of my children.
They always want to be the father of your children because they're stupid.
They're stupid because they're men.
That's great. Good. That was nice because you, I thought you really worked with each other not to fight, with offers that were right for argument.
It's pretty amazing to not fight when your mother forgets your birthday. This part is equally improvised. Isn't that interesting? Right? We don't stop improvising to have a conversation. And let's explore. Did we discover anything? What was that like? Both for people who don't do a lot of improv, what was it like to kind of take those risks? And particularly, I think some of these two people exercises where you've got an audience looking at you and you're playing. What was that like? And for people who improvise all the time, was there moments here where you felt yourself needing to stretch or thinking or seeing this in a new way? Any thoughts?
Well, I've never improvised before, and I found it really interesting because I probably follow a lot of certain patterns, and it made me aware of the patterns, and it probably will change some of my ways of talking. So I find it really useful.
You want to share one of your patterns with us?
Yeah, the questioning pattern and taking control pattern.
The great thing about improv, not to be whatever, liberal, take care of you, is you can discover that and then you can make use of those patterns when you want to, but they don't have to be so instinctual. They don't have to be as if you don't have any other choices. One of the things I love about improv is it expands your repertoire. It doesn't contract it.
Right.
It doesn't have to make it smaller. So, what other people? Yes.
What I had was I felt that it was Tuesday and I had this great compulsion to eat steak.
Me too.
Bread, steak, LDL, no more veggies. That's what
you got out of the whole thing.
Just
My work here is done.
What's the hypothesis?
I haven't come to that yet. I'm working on it.
I found it felt really good to listen in such specific little ways and to repeat it helped me to hear it. And I was also kind of overwhelmed by how invested I got so quickly, like what was going on. And
What I love about that experience is it in a strange way frees you up to be both more invested all the time and to take things less seriously. To realize that you can create that kind of connection so quickly, I think also makes the times when you fail to not seem don't have to be quite as devastating.
Yeah.
Because it's not like there's once in a lifetime moments to create that kind of connection. There's like, you can just do it.
Yeah, also the other thing you're saying, Dylan, about the listening, like the very, very precise type of listening. I'm in a class now at the Magnet with a very difficult, demanding teacher, which has been a good experience. And he said you have to listen like a hawk when you're improvising, and he will, like he called me on something because there was one word, like I had a bullhorn and the other guy was the protester, and the protester said, I'm protesting against some oil spill, right? But he had no commitment. He didn't know anything about the oil spill. And I missed that. Like that was an important, that could have been the springboard for a really interesting scene with the cop and the protester is protesting something that he doesn't really know that much about. Do you know what I mean? But I missed it because I didn't hear that word. I wasn't listening enough, like a hawk, which is really helpful also in life. We're hardly listening to people when we talk. We're hearing ourselves, the next thing we're going to say, and you miss it, or you're thinking and not really listening, and you're pretending to listen.
Can I say one more thing about that? It's just, I work with 3-year-olds, and when I'm with my kids, I think I actually do that. I repeat what they say, and I'm really listening to them. But when I'm with adults, I'm definitely focused on the next smart thing that I'm going to say. And
Right.
It was fun to do that with adults.
Yeah, it's a really great skill. Like I really want to learn to listen like a hawk. I love that image.
Yeah.
Two things really strike me that I got out of it. One was the comment that you made about when working with children and stopping with the questions so that you could really give them and have that just really touched me. And what also touched me, I know about the yes and I've done a lot of work on being in the moment and accepting what is, but somehow it never went together. And so I really got, oh my God, it's about it. And it just changed yes and for me,
Right?
in a wonderful way.
Right.
So it was lovely.
I really like the part about just really loving it more than something that you don't like, something that your initial reaction is, ugh, yuck. And then you could invest in it. You can turn that off and just love it as much as anything. I love liver!
Right.
Like you could do that.
Yeah.
I found that extremely helpful because I kept thinking you just would have to mask how you're feeling.
No, I mean, one thing, the teacher that Carrie and I studied with, Rachel, she always says, let it affect you. Like if somebody, says something to you that you don't like, you don't have to mask that in an improv scene. You want to let it affect you. Nothing should be masked, in other words. It's very open and exposing in the most positive way. And as an audience, again, it's very satisfying if someone, is being sort of not so nice to their scene partner. You want to see the impact of that. You don't want to see too like, hey, I'm in an improv scene and I'm funny, and you want to see these things. So you want to see everything.
Well, and I think one of the things Jan was saying is the experience of going joyfully with something you don't like actually changes whether you don't like it in some way. There is some of the experience of that we tend to relate to our emotions like they're what comes first and last, instead of that they're part of the creative activity of what's going on and they are transformed by what's going on. So you both don't have to deny the emotion, but you don't have to be so wedded to it that no matter what happens, I'm not going to like artichokes.